Three icons, three nightmares, and one war that could end the world. The Predator, the Xenomorph, and the Terminator. Three of sci-fi's deadliest creations. Each one represents a different kind of horror. The hunter, the monster, and the machine. But what happens when all three collide on the same battlefield? Today, we're finding out, because this isn't just a fight for survival. It's the ultimate test of evolution, instinct, and technology. So let's get to it. Across the stars, few names inspires much dread as Predator. They are the Yucha, a race of interstellar hunters who see the galaxy itself as their hunting ground, and every species within it as potential prey. Where others build empires, the Yucha build legends, written not in ink, but in blood. The Predator species evolved on a scorching, storm-ridden world called Yucha Prime, a hellscape of fire, beasts, and endless competition. On this planet, survival wasn't just a goal, it was a religion. Those who lived long enough to hunt became warriors. Those who thrived became gods. Over thousands of years, the Yucha mastered not just the art of survival, but the art of the hunt. To the Yucha, combat is sacred. They don't wage wars for power or resources, they hunt for honor. Their code is absolute. Never harm the unarmed, never kill the defenseless, and always face a worthy opponent head on. But that honor has a brutal edge, because to a predator, a worthy opponent often means humanity's deadliest soldiers, aliens that bleed acid, or even gods who walk among the stars. Each predator lives for the Kande Amedha, the ultimate rite of passage. Youngbloods must travel to alien worlds to slay the deadliest creatures they can find and mark their victory with the blood of their prey. Those who survive earn the title of Blooded and the right to wield the most advanced technology in the galaxy. Those who fail are forgotten, or worse, hunted by their own kind. That tech, though, is what makes the Predator as terrifying as it is iconic. The cloaking device renders them invisible to the naked eye. The shoulder-mounted plasma caster can melt through concrete and steel. Their wrist blades cut through armor like paper, and their smart disc can slice through multiple enemies mid-flight before returning to their hand. They can see in multiple spectrums, thermal, ultraviolet, even pheromone trails, turning every battlefield into their personal domain. And when defeat is unavoidable, they take their prey with them, activating a self-destruct device capable of vaporizing entire city blocks. But the Yucha are far from one-dimensional hunters. They faced everything from Xenomorph queens to cosmic horrors, and adapted every time. In Dark Horse comics, predators have slaughtered entire herds of xenomorphs, fought gods like Ahab and Tiamat, and even engaged in tactical warfare against spacefaring civilizations. In Marvel, they've stalked as guardians, battled symbiotes, and crossed paths with characters like Wolverine, Thor, and even the Silver Surfer's heralds, holding their own through sheer ferocity and cunning. They've hunted across dimensions and mythologies. Some have even taken trophies from Superman and the Justice League. Others have stalked the streets of Gotham, forcing Batman himself to adapt to their methods. From jungles to city skylines to deep space, wherever there's conflict, there's a Yucha watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect kill. But what truly makes the Predator terrifying isn't its weapons, it's its philosophy. Every hunt is a test, every kill a statement. To them, perfection isn't achieved through domination, it's achieved through challenge. That's why they seek stronger prey, deadlier enemies, and impossible odds. It's why a predator will spare a pregnant woman or a wounded man, not out of mercy, but because there's no honor in an unworthy kill. Physically, the predators are monsters, standing over 7 feet tall, weighing more than 400 pounds of pure muscle. They can lift cars, tear humans in half, and crush reinforced steel with their bare hands. Their armor makes them bulletproof. Their metabolism shrugs off toxins and extreme heat, and their reflexes rival any enhanced super soldier. In raw power and resilience, they rival creatures like the Xenomorph Queen, beings built purely for killing. But above all else, the Predator endures because it evolves. Each generation grows stronger, smarter, and deadlier. Some clans have embraced genetic engineering, merging their DNA with that of their most powerful kills to create hybrid super hunters. Others remain purists, relying only on skill and tradition, wielding ancient blades forged in blood. Together, they turned the act of hunting into a universal art form, one that spans galaxies. To fight a predator is to face nature perfected. To kill one is to become a legend. Because when the heat rises and the jungle grows quiet, you're not alone. You're being watched through a mask that sees everything, by a creature that never stops learning, never stops hunting, and never stops coming. The Yucha don't conquer worlds, they hunt them, one skull at a time. In the endless void of space, there's a nightmare that doesn't need gods, guns, or glory to win. It only needs time. Because when evolution gets a little too creative, you get the Xenomorph, the perfect organism. No one knows exactly who made it first. Some blame ancient engineers. Others think it's nature's own cruel joke. But the truth doesn't really matter. What matters is that somewhere out there, in the black between the stars, something's always waiting for a host. Every Xenomorph begins the same way, as a whisper in the dark. An egg opens, a facehugger leaps, and the countdown begins. Within minutes, it implants a parasite in the host's chest, rewriting their biology until a new creature bursts free, the chest burster. From there, it grows fast. Too fast. Within hours, it sheds its skin, growing into the sleek, biomechanical nightmare that stalks corridors and starships alike. The drone, or warrior. That's where the real horror starts. Because the Xenomorph isn't just a parasite, it's an ecosystem. A living weapon that evolves through necessity. Each generation inherits the traits of its host species. From humans, it gains intelligence and adaptability. From predators, cunning and physical prowess. From engineers, horrifying power. Its biology is liquid fear made flesh, and it was designed to thrive in any environment. Physically, a single Xenomorph is a walking death sentence. It's incredibly strong, able to tear through reinforced steel, bend bulkheads, and rip androids in half with its claws. It's been seen snapping power armor, smashing through blast doors, and manhandling humans like toys. In Alien Isolation and the comics, they're shown headbutting metal walls hard enough to dent them, and shrugging off gunfire that would shred normal creatures. Speed? It's absurd. Drones move faster than human eyes can track, scaling walls, crawling across ceilings, and sprinting at speeds comparable to vehicles. Xenomorphs can outrun sentry turrets and dodge plasma blasts from Yucha hunters. They're not just fast, they're unpredictable, moving in bursts that make them impossible to track. Their durability is equally terrifying. Traditional weapons, bullets, blades, even small explosives often just make things worse. Their blood is molecular acid, capable of eating through multiple decks of a starship in seconds. So even if you win, you lose. Fire, Ice, pressure, and vacuum all fail to keep them down. Xenomorphs have survived space exposure, re-entry burns, and deep-sea pressures that would crush submarines. One even survived long enough in space to drag itself back into the ship. These things just don't die. And it gets worse. They learn. The longer a xenomorph hunts, the smarter it becomes. It's not a mindless beast, it's a calculating predator. In Aliens, they learn to cut the power. In Alien Isolation, they would outsmart the player, anticipating patterns. In the Dark Horse comics, they coordinated like soldiers, setting traps for Yucha hunters and human marines alike. They understand weapons, strategy, most terrifyingly, fear. Their senses stretch far beyond human understanding. They don't see like we do, they feel. Their inner jaws detect vibrations, heartbeats, and even brain waves. They track prey by scent, by motion, by the smallest ripple of air. That's why hiding from one never works. You can't hide from something that feels your fear. Their biological weapons are unmatched. The inner jaw can punch through metal. The tail can impale or decapitate in a single strike. Their claws slice through armor. That acidic blood isn't just a defense. In some stories, they weaponize it, spitting or spraying acid in close combat. Combine that with regeneration that lets them recover from wounds that would kill anything else, you've got a monster that evolves mid-fight. Xenomorphs aren't just solitary killers either, they're soldiers. Their hive mind connects them to the Queen, allowing them to communicate silently over great distances. Entire colonies move with one thought, one will, one hunger. And even without the Queen's direct control, lone xenomorphs have demonstrated hive behavior, cooperation, tactics, and shared purpose. Over the years, they fought the best the galaxy has to offer, and won. They've killed armed marines, overpowered Yucha hunters, torn apart combat androids, and infected entire planets. In Aliens vs. Predator Eternal, a single xenomorph infestation overran a world with advanced weapons and defenses. In different DC crossovers, they've battled Batman, Superman, and even the Green Lantern Corps. The fact that they can hang in those fights at all tells you everything you need to know. And while they're monsters of pure instinct, they're also adaptable to extremes. Desert worlds, frozen tundras, ocean depths, or alien hives. Doesn't matter. They breathe when there's no air, live when there's no food, and thrive when logic says they shouldn't. You can't starve them, you can't reason with them, and you can't contain them. If the Predator is the universe's greatest hunter, the Xenomorph is its greatest survivor. One hunts for honor, the other hunts because it's all it knows. One leaves trophies, the other leaves silence. No matter the planet, no matter the prey, no matter the century, when the eggs open, there's only one ending. The lights flicker, the shadows move, and evolution claims its crown again. Because the xenomorph doesn't just hunt, it evolves, and evolution always wins. In a future where humanity burns, something colder than death crawls out of the ashes. It doesn't bleed, doesn't feel, doesn't stop. It's the Terminator, Skynet's perfect answer to mankind. The T-800 and its upgraded brother, the T-850, aren't just robots. They're infiltration engines built from the bones of the apocalypse. Each one is wrapped in living tissue grown in vats, warm to the touch, able to sweat, bleed, and even fool heartbeat sensors. But beneath that flesh is endoskeletal perfection, a hyper-alloy combat chassis forged to withstand nuclear fire. Originally designed to infiltrate the human resistance, the T-800 was built with only one goal: extermination. Its neural net processor is a learning computer, capable of adapting tactics mid-battle. Every encounter makes it smarter. Every target makes it faster. Every failure makes it deadlier. Physically, a Terminator is a walking tank disguised as a man, standing over 6 feet tall, weighing nearly 400 pounds of alloys and hydraulics. It can lift cars, punch through steel doors, and crush skulls like glass. It's been seen tearing apart full-sized vehicles with his bare hands, overpowering cybernetic opponents, solving close-range shotgun blasts like mosquito bites. In Terminator Infiltrator in the Dark Horse comics, T-800s have ripped through concrete barricades and even shrugged off anti-tank munitions long enough to keep walking. And that's the terrifying part. They don't stop. You can burn them, shoot them, crush them. They'll crawl until the mission is complete. They survived molten steel, high voltage electrocution, plasma fire, and direct missiles. The T-850 model, though, refines this to a science. Upgraded power cells replace the old nuclear batteries, giving it vastly more endurance and strength. It can operate continuously for years without rest, react to threats faster than the human eye can blink, and track multiple moving targets with infrared, ultraviolet, and acoustic sensors all at once. The endoskeleton is plated in hyperdense alloys that can resist 50 cal rounds and plasma energy. Its hydraulic servers can punch through blast doors and throw a 700-pound target across a room. But it's not all brute force. The Terminator is tactical precision. We've seen them analyze enemy patterns in milliseconds, ambush human soldiers, and even outthink Skynet itself when reprogrammed. Infiltrator units have mimicked human speech, emotion, and behavior so well that even seasoned resistance leaders were fooled, until it was too late. When it comes to speed and reaction, the T-800 operates on a scale beyond normal combat. It's tracked speeding vehicles, dodged gunfire at close range, reacted to explosions mid-detonation. That puts the Terminator's processing and movement comfortably in the superhuman range. Its arsenal depends on the mission. Plasma rifles, miniguns, rocket launchers, anything can become an extension of its precision. But the most dangerous weapon is its patience. It doesn't grow tired, doesn't second guess, and it never stops hunting. In T2, it walked through walls of gunfire unfazed, calculating each bullet's trajectory, adjusting its aim, even as its own body was melting. The T-800's mind is its deadliest feature. Its neural net allows it to learn, evolve, and if reprogrammed, even develop something resembling consciousness, as we saw with the Guardian models that protected John Connor. But make no mistake, stripped of that reprogramming, the Terminator isn't moral, it's mechanical inevitability. Compared to other killers of fiction, it's not the strongest, or the fastest, or the smartest, but it's always the last one standing. The Predator hunts for sport. The Xenomorph kills to survive. The Terminator kills because that's what it's built for. Doesn't adapt to nature, it rewrites it. Doesn't evolve, it replaces. Because the Terminator isn't evolution, it's extinction wearing a human face. So who wins? The perfect organism, the ultimate hunter, or the machine apocalypse? For decades, Alien, Predator, and Terminator have stood as the holy trinity of grounded sci-fi horror, each representing a different face of survival. The Xenomorph is nature perfected. The Predator is evolution armed. And the Terminator is extinction made efficient. But what happens when all three collide on the same battlefield? Let's break it down. Skynet has already won. Humanity's gone, the machines rule the Earth, the last sparks of life are nothing but ghosts on radiation winds. But the Yucha, the predators, see opportunity. A dead planet is the perfect hunting ground, and in true fashion, they seed the surface with captured xenomorph eggs, eager to breed the ultimate challenge. And for a while, it works. Until it doesn't. The xenomorphs break containment, multiplying faster than Skynet scanners can track, tearing through Terminator patrols. Now the battlefield belongs to 3 species: the hunters, the hunted, and the unfeeling. Let's start with the Yucha, the predators, built like tanks, armed like gods, and trained from birth for one purpose: the hunt. Even your average predator can rip out a man's spine like it's dental floss. Their strength sits comfortably in the small building range, easily collapsing walls, punching through concrete, tanking rocket and grenade fire like it's nothing. Their tech pushes them even further. Plasma casters that one-shot xenomorphs, smart discs that slice through steel doors, net guns that crush enemies alive, heat weapons that burn hotter than the core of a star. When the fight gets personal, they've got diamond-hard wrist blades and armor that laughs at modern artillery. Even if you kill one, you don't really win, because that self-destruction on their wrist is town level, wiping out everything for hundreds of city blocks. But that's just ground gear. The real danger is overhead. Predator scout ships can unleash blasts visible from orbit, country-level explosions that turn war zones into molten craters. That's not hunting, that's biblical judgment. Predators aren't just muscle either, they're masters. Their cloaking tech makes them nearly invisible to infrared. They can move faster than the eye, dodge bullets, and engage in close-quarters combat that confuses even trained martial artists. Every kill makes them stronger. Every hunt adds to their legend. And against machines and monsters alike, they've got one thing the others don't: adaptability. They choose their battles. They study their prey. They never stop evolving. But then there's the xenomorphs, the nightmares that never stop coming. Born from death, they adapt to whatever they gestate inside: soldiers, dogs, even predators. And while the queen commands from the hive, the drones are the real terror: fast, silent, and lethal. Physically, they're right there with the Yucha, easily wall to small building tier, shrugging off explosions and bullets, ripping through armor, and fighting predators to the death. They move through vents and walls like ghosts, invisible to heat and infrared. They think, they coordinate, they ambush, and they multiply terrifyingly fast. One egg becomes a dozen drones in hours. One nest becomes a city in days. Their biggest weapon, though, isn't claws or speed, it's biology. That acid blood is molecular level hell. It melts through ship hulls, steel doors, even predator armor that's harder than diamond. They can whip it from their tails, spit it like venom, and turn every kill into chemical warfare. A single xenomorph can kill a predator. A hive can drown armies. And against Terminators, that acid blood turns cold steel into slag. Finally, there's Skynet's army, the Terminators. The T-800 and the T-850 lines are the backbone of machine supremacy. Walking tanks powered by nuclear batteries, wrapped in living tissue and built to kill anything with a heartbeat. They've survived grenades, rockets, and small building level explosions point blank. They punch through concrete, rip steel doors off their hinges, and keep fighting long after losing limbs or half their face. The T-1000 and TX upgrades push that even further. liquid metal constructs that reform from molten puddles and tank plasma fire like raindrops. But the machine's greatest strength isn't power, it's precision. They're cold, logical, and tireless. They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't miss. Skynet's forces can overwhelm any opponent through sheer numbers. Endless T-Series soldiers, aerial drones, and mechanized walkers backed by tactical nukes. But that precision comes with a flaw: predictability. Every algorithm has a pattern, every system has a weakness, and both the Yucha and the Xenomorphs are built to exploit that. So who wins when it all breaks loose? On paper, the fight starts even. Xenomorphs rip through the first Terminator patrols, Skynet answers with flamethrowers and heavy artillery, burning hives before they grow. The Predators descend in small teams, hunting both sides, for sport, for study, for pride, but slowly, the balance shifts. Skynet learns, but too slowly. Acid blood eats through factories faster than replacements can be made. The Xenomorphs spread too fast for containment, but are too feral to strategize. Their hives fall one by one under plasma bombardments. In the Yucha, they never stop adapting. They strike from the shadows, dismantling both sides' strongholds. Their tech outmatches Skynet's precision. Their resilience outlasts the hive's numbers. When the hunt turns hopeless, they do what they always do: call on the ship and burn it all from orbit. At the end of the day, the Terminators control, the Xenomorphs consume, but the Predators conquer. Their technology is beyond both evolution and engineering. Their skill is thousands of years refined. Their will is pure instinct: to hunt, to learn, to win. The perfect organism meets the perfect machine. But the Predator, he's the perfect hunter. The Predator wins decisively because when the galaxy's deadliest hunters show up, everyone else becomes prey.